Hello guys, RPM Designs. Um, I I tend to like to make an follow up on the Gigabyte drama, and this means that their servers is just horrible. Don't get them. I mean, their motherboard and everything is just the service is just non-existent. Okay, I went to the portal and I get bullshit answers. They don't give any service whatsoever. They don't think about a solution. They don't think about anything. They just give bullshit answers. They keep providing information that is just stupid, makes no sense. They don't think at all before they react. It's just a reaction and pointing to something else instead of their own faulty hardware, which results in they point into the direction of the retailer the whole time. They have nothing to do with it. My retailer has nothing to do with it. Nothing whatsoever. It's a Gigabyte problem. Okay, so they have to solve it. If they have like even half a decent uh, service, they would have said, okay, well, maybe this could be a fix, or that could be a fix. And there's no fix. They don't offer any support. They don't offer anything. It's all bullshit. Okay, and this is the second Gigabyte board I owned, and it's the last time. I'm done with them. It's a horrible company. They're way overpriced. They offer less than the competition for the same price on an MSI board, or like an ASRock. You get way more, better BIOS. Everything is better, and this is just plain shit. And here's the proof. This is the portal. Here are all the messages I sent to them. Okay, I was complaining about stability issues, blah blah blah, this and that. They just deny it. They don't give a shit about it. They just really didn't. Thank you for emailing Gigabyte. I would like to help you on this issue. Yeah, okay. Your memory model is rated as see? Like, please note that your memory model is rated 70, not 7600. Like, really? I mean, I understand. I'm not an idiot. I understand that this is considered overclocking. Anything above JDEC is overclocking. I know that. I'm not an idiot. And I'm not asking for overclocking. There are certain issues that have nothing to do with the memory stability whatsoever. Okay? There's a whole list here, and I tested with everything, but nothing worked. I tested again, and yeah, it did work. So it was memory, blah blah blah. And it's just, yeah, this is the answer you get, constantly the same. Dear customer, thank you for answer ASAP and blah blah blah. There's no ASAP with them. They're so fucking slow that it's unbelievable. Yeah. Dear customer, we apologize the circumstances, but at this moment we do not get any update news from our colleagues. Wow, very nice, man. Some colleagues you have, huh? Fucking idiots. If you're satisfied with our service, please rate us. Are you fucking kidding me? I gave it a 1 star on everything. This is the worst portal ever. I mean, also keep in mind, keep the time. Like the date and the time, everything. It's horrible. There's like a few days between it. Makes no sense at all. They just make fun of you. They don't give a shit, man. Say, wow, the last Gigabyte. Yeah, and give stupid answers like this. I already provided that answer in this, you know. Yeah, they don't read it, so that's why you get these bullshit stupid answers. Okay. I also had like issues with Windows 11 don't activate. Well, they also lie about that one because I had like a legit license. I had a legit code I bought from CD Keys. That's a legit seller. And it didn't work. So this 1250 €12.50 for nothing, for only flashing a fucking BIOS. And they say they have nothing to do with it. Well, newsflash, they do. You know why? Because if you flash a BIOS, it can, if you flash a new BIOS, like a beta BIOS, it's not always signed properly. Like sometimes it's just an alpha BIOS. They say it's a beta. Sometimes there's an alpha BIOS. They rush these stupid BIOSes out, and it's not even. They don't even mention it. It's a beta. Here, I'm going to show you. And then go to support. I have the revision 1.0, and here are a bunch of BIOSes. Here, there's E. They don't say anything about beta. They don't warn people whatsoever. Here, there's a checksum, and there's this and that. But if there's a number in front of it, that means that it's a beta or an alpha. E, I don't know what E, A, B, sometimes you have like, oh, they just, so they use people as guinea pigs. So these are all stable BIOSes. See, 5 or 6. And this is just an experimental. So they use people as guinea pigs, and the user experience, they don't care, man. See, this is the problem with this fucking idiots. Other companies do point out that it's a beta. And I'm going to show you. I am going to show you. Products. And then go to motherboards. And then go to, what the fuck? Intel 7000. Yeah. Here we go to this one. The Riptide. It doesn't matter, it's just a random motherboard. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, then you go to support. Then you go to BIOS. Yeah, they don't even have alpha or beta BIOSes. They're all stable. See that? They don't care, man. They don't give a shit in Gigabyte. Okay? Here's the Nova. Pretty bored though. I think I will get this one instead of the Giga crap I'm having. Okay, now go to support and then a BIOS. Here, see. Here's a beta BIOS. See, they say beta. You understand? So, this is ASRock, okay, to be considered a B grade motherboard vendor. They say it's beta, so it's up to you if you want to flash it or not. And Gigabyte, it's a guess. Another proof they don't give a shit. Even on Asus, they show that it's a beta BIOS. Okay. So yeah, that's another proof that you should avoid this Giga crap like the plague. You know? But wait, there's more. Way more. I don't know. Oh, this is it. I think we were here somewhere. But oh yeah, here. For issues, yeah, but please contact Intel or Intel Microsoft and blah blah blah. Well, I did that, and Intel said no, there's no problem. It's on the Gigabyte side because you change your hardware, and if there is something wrong with the BIOS or alpha or beta BIOS, sometimes they are not signed. I mean, you can Google this. I don't have this information right here now. I forgot to look it up, but it's also common sense. You know, the BIOS is made to communicate with your motherboard and your other products. So if there's something wrong in the BIOS, it automatically, if Microsoft doesn't recognize it, of course it cannot be activated because this BIOS it doesn't recognize it. You understand? So that's what it's happening. But wait, there's more. I mean, this goes on and 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 on. And until the last message. Look, listen. I told them this, I have some LAN issues, okay? But they don't provide any support whatsoever. This is the last message I got from them. There's no newer BIOS from this. Reinstall Windows. Yeah, okay, man. That's. If the LAN issue still shows, you can check with your local dealer from the warranty and RMA. How is that a solution? RMA what? To get for the same board, the same LAN, Intel LAN controller? Holy shit, man. Unbelievable. Here, and I provided proof. I sent them images. I sent them everything. But I cannot show it anymore. I showed links and everything, but I cannot show it anymore because this portal is just flawed. You know. But anyway, that's their answer. I didn't get any. But there's more. I think. Oh yeah, here. This is the last answer I got from them. And now they're just ignoring. And now I said I said you're the worst DNBL. That means do not buy list. And I'm gonna make a video. And in this case, it's just contacting with your dealer and ask for warranty service. The same fucking, and they don't give a shit. They just make fun. See? Now all of a sudden they can react. They can send an email back. So this is proof. This is literally proof that they don't give a shit. And they go like, oh well, fuck you. Go to your dealer then. You know? This is literally proof that they don't want to offer any support. They don't care. They don't give a fuck. You know? And about the issues, I'm going to show you right here. This is the issue. The EFN Express. This is the Intel LAN controller. It keeps crapping out. Oh, I can make it bigger, yeah. It keeps like crapping out the whole time. And it's an Intel NIC problem. But they don't give a shit. They just keep selling motherboards with the same NIC. Okay? That's Gigabyte for you. They don't give a shit. If you give a shit, you would say, okay, well, okay, we know there's a problem with it. There's a new motherboard. This motherboard I have is the Z790 Aorus Elite X Wi-Fi 7, by the way, is end of life. So they don't sell it anymore. There's a new motherboard, that's the Pro X. That's the Z790, of course, the Aorus Pro X. With a 5 GB Realtek LAN. And this motherboard is almost the same price as my motherboard. So that's like a beefed up version. That's a better version of my motherboard. But there are also different revisions of this motherboard. Revision 1, revision 1.2 and revision 3 or something. Why making several revisions with like improvements for the same price? That's just stupid. You shouldn't do that. Okay, they do that for a long time. Asus doesn't do it. No one does it. It's not. Well, maybe other do it as well, but not as like. They change like stuff maybe for the better. But if I ask about it, no one knows the answer. This is to me that's just horrible. But here's another example of how many times this Intel NIC disconnects. And this means this is only half the story, because half of the time it doesn't even register as an event ID. Sometimes I have this lag in Windows or lag in games. When I stream, when I do whatever, this Intel NIC is just a pile of garbage. And I tested this because when I use the Wi-Fi, which is what is the Wi-Fi? I don't know. It's just Wi-Fi. It's doing much better. Oh wait, we can look here. Wait. Network. Oh, it's MediaTek. I don't know how about that brand, but MediaTek Wi-Fi 7. And I don't have these issues on Wi-Fi. So that's really saying that I don't have any issues with Wi-Fi. And then they keep asking like what modem are you using? They also ask what modem. I go like, what? I'm using a Fritzbox 2.5 gig, and this Intel NIC is also 2.5 gig, and I have a new category 6 LAN cable, and I tried different cables, nothing worked. It's exactly the same. This is not a cable issue. If your NIC disconnects and connects, has nothing to do with this issue, has nothing to do with your cable. This will not show up in the event log. This is hardware. Okay, just to make sure that you guys understand properly, this is a hardware problem. And yeah, Gigabyte doesn't want to solve it. They don't give a shit. They don't really care. But wait, there's more. I also had this problem. Oh wait, this is the thing I flashed. I flashed a new firmware. Normally you can only like have the software, but I also flashed the firmware on this one. So this is proof that I flashed the firmware, and still it didn't do anything. Nothing at all. Okay. But wait, there's more. Let me check. The other thing is CP scores. The CP score also changed. CP score means that how many biscuits are live. I mean CPU biscuits, it's right there. Biscuit AI, artificial intelligence. Okay. So they can mathematically calculate how many biscuits there are live. And I know about the whole Intel problem. Okay, this has nothing to do with Intel. I already understand that fact. Intel has problems, but still, the biscuit score changes all the time for me. For no reason. Why does it change all the time? Because my CPU degraded. Okay? This is my current CP score. Well, I don't know now if I go to the BIOS. I can look again. I think it's 89 or 90. But it fluctuates between 98, 89. I wish it was 98. But 89 and this. It keeps fluctuating. After a reboot, I get this. Then I get this. See? Different biases, different biscuit scores. And I asked Gigabyte and they said, well, don't worry about it. It's not very important. Well, it is important. But they try to lure your attention away because this is actually exactly what people are complaining about. This is exactly about the power state, about the power draw on everything. This is what actually destroys CPUs. Too much power, and yeah, you know, this is what they do. And this is like they didn't implement like it was worse on Asus and Gigabyte actually. I think it was worse on Asus, but Gigabyte also plays a part on it. They have no limit. Like you could draw like 4,000 watts and all that stupid shit. I mean, why? Makes no fucking sense. Everything is unlimited. Why? I mean, the specs were clear. I mean, they say it was a recommendation, but if you use a little bit common sense, you would honor these specs. And then the problem of Intel CPUs were way less than it is now, because now the new BIOSes, they do honor the specs of Intel, and everything works perfectly fine. You no longer own an i9 or i7 because it will degrade or the performance will be way less, but still it worked. You understand? So that's the problem. There's also a problem with Gigabyte. They don't give a shit. I asked them about this. They give bullshit answers. They say go like, oh, this and that, all kinds of bullshit. They blamed everyone else except themselves. No answer. Only, yeah, if this happens, then do RMA. RMA what? For the same default product, which I already proven to be faulty many times for many things. This BIOS of these motherboards is horrible. Okay? It's a pile of garbage. And what I mean by that is if you sometimes when you boot, it forgets your memory settings. Okay? So when you load XMP, you have to forget your memory settings. And as an answer, I got oh, just load the not just don't use XMP. 7200 is way too high and all that kind of bullshit and yappity yap. I mean, fuck you. I don't care about what about these stupid answers. Okay, this makes no sense at all. I do understand that 7200 is more than capable of for the CPU to run. I'm running it right now actually, not 7600 because I can pass any memory thing, but my CPU will, for some reason, will crap out, and the motherboard also doesn't like it. I don't know what the problem is, but no, whatever voltage I use, it just doesn't work consistently. Well, it worked for maybe a week, 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden BSOD, blue screens. I'm done with it. I tried the first Descendant. I played the first Descendant, which has an Unreal Engine, and it crashed immediately, or after 1 hour, or maybe 5 minutes, or a second, or a minute. It just depends on how the CPU load is. The moral of the story is don't get Gigabyte. They're assholes. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. It's the same as Asus ROG. Yeah, that's right. I say asses because I cannot say aces anymore because they're a bunch of assholes, so asses. So if they fix their stuff, I will try to re-recommend them. But as of now, Gigabyte is on my DNBL list. I think I will sell my motherboard. Well, I can't even sell it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I tried to claim warranty service, but my retail store is also yeah, they think it's very difficult to do, so it can take a few weeks. So I think I will take a loss and just buy a new motherboard. And yeah, ASRock. I think MSI or ASRock. I think it will be an MSI because their BIOS actually works. And way less quirks I heard from everybody. Even on overclock.net, a few people actually warned me about Gigabyte. They say don't buy them. They have a lot of huge issues. And that's the reason why a lot of people don't buy Gigabyte. And that's because the problems I was having. Hardware problems. I also got contact with people from Discord, from their own Aura server. A couple of people contacted me privately. I'm not gonna know their, I'm not gonna tell their names, and I'm not gonna show the conversation. But I can assure you, I'm not a liar. I have no reason to do so. But they contacted me and they say we have the same problems. We contacted Gigabyte, but they didn't do anything. They don't give a shit. They left us cold, so I don't buy Gigabyte anymore. So here we are. The same problems. And on a previous video I posted here, there were also quite a few people contacted me via the description below that they also have problems with Gigabyte. So my recommendation is not to get Gigabyte anymore. Because their BIOSes are flawed, reboots and everything, it just doesn't work. Memory training is garbage. It doesn't work. It forgets settings. There's a workaround, but for the average user, they don't know all that. So if you buy like a motherboard and you buy memory and you buy a CPU and you have no idea about the in-depth information, because this is very like difficult, very this is technical, it's very deep. So they try to boot and out of the blue they have issues. They have no idea. Retail stores also have no idea. This is a problem I discovered on overclock.net by people that do know, and they have the hardware to test this, and I also tested this, and I can duplicate this issue. As in, this issue is if you have like memory not context restore, but the memory boot mode, you have enable or disable fast boot or set it in auto. If I set it on auto, it forgets the settings, it forgets the voltages, it forgets some subtimings, and the next day you can end up with a lot of issues and a lot of problems. You have no idea what is causing this. Okay? So you have to put it, and that's not even on high settings, that's not even on 7600, it also happens on 7200. Here the screenshot actually showing 7600 megahertz, and this was perfectly stable in any benchmark I did, and it was pretty fast. But yeah, as a result, eventually it fails. The CPU fails, the cores fail. I wouldn't blame that entirely on Gigabyte, of course, because it's a 4-DIMM board. I understand if a 4-DIMM board, 7200 maximum stable is pretty good. You know, on AMD I topped out at 7000. So for Intel it's not much higher. I mean the this is endless. You know, you can test and do things endlessly, or just settle for a certain speed and then go along with it. You know, I mean, you can test until inevitably hours and weeks or maybe years testing and never find any stability because you keep testing, you know. So I know 7200 megahertz is stable. I can tighten more the timings more, but even that just, I don't know, it's not worth it. Not on this platform, not on this motherboard, because it keeps forgetting the settings. And it's less prominent on this XMP setting. I'm just using XMP. I only did tier FI. I set from 7000, I believe, or something to 65,000, which is a huge increase in performance. And that's about it. Voltages, everything is the same. But yeah, other than that, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. These motherboards are 300 euros. 300 euros. Okay, that's one of the lower end boards actually, the Elite X Wi-Fi 7. The Gigabyte Aorus Elite X Wi-Fi 7 to be precise. Okay, and then they bring the Pro X, which is a completely new board because this Elite is a redesign of the previous motherboard. This is not a new board. Okay, the Pro X is a completely new design, new traces, new everything. So apparently some people claim that it also overclocks better on the memory. I have no proof of that, but that's what they say on overclock.net. And they do test a lot, and yeah, of course I take that with a grain of salt, but I think for 90% that can be true. You know, I trust them. But anyway, this is my video about Gigabyte. Just put it on your DNBL, DN do not buy list. Don't get it. They're garbage. They don't care. It takes long for them to respond even. They give bullshit answers. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. For me personally, I get very annoyed by this because I paid for 350 whatever euros for this motherboard, which is factually it's DOA. It's dead on arrival. I had this Intel NIC problem since the beginning, but I didn't have any idea what it was until later I discovered what it was. I provided feedback to Gigabyte, and even then they persisted to do an RMA via my retail store. My retail store is going to test it, but how are they going to test it? They need the whole entire system, because if they put on a different CPU, a different this and a different that, and then test it, that can take a week in order to have them these issues, or maybe a day or 2 days, you know. And even then, if I would like if they think, okay, there's something wrong, they send it to Gigabyte. Gigabyte doesn't see this as a problem. That's why they give this bullshit answers. So I sent this back to my router store. They tested for like a week, but they have a delay because it's very, very busy. So it takes a longer time. So 4 weeks, I have no computer. And all that because they choose to go with this faulty NIC. They knew this before, because this motherboard is not new. There's nothing new about this motherboard. So if you do a little bit research before you adding hardware, you would have known that this NIC has issues. A lot of people have issues. Okay? So, but yeah, they choose not to. They don't care. The newer motherboards, the Pro X, like I said, has the Realtek 5G, also had problems. The 2.5 gig also has problems, but this is a 5 gig for almost the same money. So let that sink in. You know, they know they're wrong. They don't care. They want to scam the people just like Asus does. So only on a different way, but it's exactly, the outcome is the same. So yeah, I'm done. I think I will buy another motherboard and I will give an if I have it. I don't know when or what, but if I have a new motherboard, I will make a new video about it, how the experience is, and yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you have the same problem, please leave an like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have the same problem, please leave like a comment in the section below. Maybe I have some tips or tricks, but I don't work for Gigabyte. Fortunately, I never will. And yeah, maybe we can help each other and just don't take things for granted. If they offer no solution, dig deeper. I think it's very important to show, to expose them, to show these things. It's not bashing on Gigabyte. Well, a little bit. Because I'm very annoyed by this. This is stupid. This should not happen. Okay? If you make a mistake, that's okay, but also provide some service in order to help people. But this is not helping. They make the problem worse. They give stupid answers, make it even more annoying. Okay? So they just try to discourage to do an RMA, and later they say they want you to do an RMA and blah blah blah. And I'm just done with it. It gives me headaches. I'm done. So, right guys, well, thanks for watching. And yeah, like I said, feel free to subscribe and like this video. And if you want to see more, then of course subscribe and also like. And yeah, feel free to leave a comment in the section below. See you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.